Part one of the Beverly Hills reunion had Garcelle letting those bitches know that she may not raise her voice often, but when she does, you listen. Okay. Power. She has so much. The power. Her silent power is unmatched. Okay. Hello, I'm Emily, host of the podcast She Speaks Bravo with Emily Hanks. And if you like unnecessarily detailed and insightful recaps about Bravo TV and true crime, then subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss a video. Now let's get into my recap of the first part of the Beverly Hills Housewives reunion right now. My name is Emily, and I have been watching Bravo TV as a form of self-care for over a decade. Needless to say, I'm a complete mess. Subscribe and follow along for painfully insightful recaps about Bravo, true crime, and other great TV. Hit that bell. Before I get back into the content, I want to talk about the membership offerings I have for you guys. This is a way for you to be involved in the content I put out. Over on YouTube, if you go to my channel, you can hit the join button and you get two options. The level 1 queens get a custom badge and emoji to use in the chats and also get to vote in the bonus content polls. I'm going to start putting out bonus episodes, most likely one every 2 weeks. And this will be a chance for you guys to vote in what I actually cover. Sometimes cool things happen, like a news thing or a casting update. And I can't obviously cover everything, and you'll get a chance to vote on what I do cover. That is $4.99 a month. The next level queens get the same perks, but they also get a shout out at the top of every episode. That includes the recap episodes, not just the bonus episodes. And you also get early access to those bonus episodes that you voted on in the content polls. You'll get those 3 days before I release it to everyone else. Now, if those memberships sound a little intimidating and you're like, I have a fear of commitment, which so do I, you can also just, if you're watching on YouTube, go to give a super thanks. And they've got a little heart icon with a $sign in it, and it says thanks. And you could just donate one time, like here's $2, $5. I think it goes up to 50. And it's just a way to show some support. And any money you guys give me goes right back into this, whether it's just helping me not have to work my other job and pay the bills and just focus all my time on making content, or if it's just getting better equipment. Because if you guys saw this setup, you would laugh. But if you ever leave, by the way, if you do a super thanks on a video with Pia or with Kendrick, I will absolutely share the profits with them because I value them more than you could ever know. And I would never be stingy. No, never, never. Anyway, though, thank you so much for all of your support already. I do appreciate it. Now, let's get back to the show. Enjoy. You know who we're obsessed with right now, Pia?
Ooh.
We're obsessed with our next level queens. They got memberships. They get shout outs now.
Oh, yeah.
We're obsessed with them. So Shelly, Lissy, Andrea, Rita, MP, and Jess, we're obsessed with you.
We're so obsessed with you. Stop.
Oh my God, Shelly, Lissy, Andrea, Rita, MP, and Jess.
Did we just become best friends?
We did. We became besties. I never do this, but I need to shout out my sister's pet sitting company. And I never do this. And I'm not just like doing this because she's my sister, but she legit runs one of the best pet sitting companies. If you are in the San Fernando area, Sitter for Paws. Look it up, sitterforpaws.com. Sitter, the number 4, paws spelled normally. My sister, I'm so impressed with her because I don't think I'm a very good business owner. Like, I did not do a very good job running my business. If people start to act foolish, I'm like, okay, I'm going to drop you as a client. My sister was on the phone the other day and just the most obnoxious client, like just because people are weird with their pets, obviously. That's like normal. That would make
Right.
sense, right? But they're also like entitled assholes. You know, they're people. Most people suck.
Yeah.
And she just kept a smile on her face and was like, okay, no problem. Like did all that stuff and then just hung up the phone and kept going about her business. I'm like, I would have cussed them out and said, I don't need your business. And then I would have had at the end of my like week, I would have had like 2 clients.
Yeah, I think that's how I would be too. Like
Yeah.
that's how I am as a server. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need your tip. We're
Yeah.
done.
It's a problem. I'm saying you could abuse my sister. That's not actually what I meant. That's not what I meant by that pitch.
You
I'm
can
just saying,
go and just
she's
emotionally
really good.
wreak havoc.
Yeah, she's real good. She's just really, really good. But they don't do overnights. That's the only thing they don't do. But damn, like she's on top of her shit. Let's just get into this reunion. I have pages and pages of notes because there's just so much to say, and I have so much.
You froze for me.
Did I?
It's my internet. Hold on. It's saying my internet is unstable. Like, why? Okay.
Like my life.
You're moving. Am I moving?
You're moving. You never stop moving.
Okay,
baby.
great.
Okay, cool. All right, we're back. Okay. I'm gonna skip the whole like they're arriving, they're getting there, they're getting in the dressing rooms, blah 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 blah. When Rinna came out and Andy's like, oh, she has manila envelopes. I didn't like. She was like, yeah. I'm like, shut, Rinna. I don't even care what you think is in there.
Yeah, she like came in like she was about to like enter like a courtroom. She was like, I mean, they always come in with manila envelopes, so that's not the issue. It's just like her demeanor. Like, yeah. If you're gonna have manila envelopes, like be fun about it. Like at the end of the day, this is what Rinna doesn't understand, and this is why when she does her stirring, it doesn't feel as good. Like she thinks that we want that because she's taking it too seriously. You know what I mean? It has to be some levity to it. We don't really want you to destroy someone. It's just fun destroying, you know, light.
This is like take a page out of Potomac's book.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Except for for Potomac, when what's her name left, the one who hit
Monique.
She was trying to destroy everybody on her way out.
Yeah, that's
funny
why
she had a binder.
I meant. Oh no, I actually. Oh, actually, I don't want to. I can't touch that. Don't ever mention the name Monique on this podcast again.
Do you not like her?
No, just she sparks too much debate.
She does.
It's like as soon as you said Monique, I got like PTSD because when it comes to Potomac, I love Potomac, but the fans of Potomac are too much. It's like it becomes like, although I will say now that Monique is gone, maybe it's a little bit better, but I just got like PTSD. I was like, don't freak out, everyone.
That was the season I came in on Potomac.
You didn't watch all of Potomac?
No, because I didn't know where the fuck Potomac was.
Wait a minute. So have you not seen from season 1?
No.
Oh,
it's like my
hold on. Stop.
Hold on. God. Oh God.
Hold on. No. This is actually a problem.
Oh no.
This is a problem, Pia.
Well, because the thing is,
no. You need to be quiet right now.
Lord.
Anyone watching and listening, who they are all mad at you right now. You are about to you're about to be chastised.
What?
What do you mean? What?
I've been watching now. Like,
no, you are missing. You need to immediately go back and watch. This is the most amazing television on Bravo.
Well, which is why I started to watch.
No. That's like not watching the first couple seasons of Vanderpump Rules.
True. That's a good example. That's a good example.
I wish you hadn't told me this at the top of this episode.
Okay, well, I'll watch it.
How dare you?
How many seasons?
We're only on season 7.
I watched from that season on, so I've watched 3 seasons. So
I'm so sorry. Do you not have time to watch 4 seasons of Housewives?
Well, now that they're rolling out a whole bunch of new seasons of everything in this whole month, no.
I mean, well, you know,
okay,
I'm gonna let my listeners and watchers drag you for not watching because they are gonna go off.
Drag me? I didn't say that I was right.
Don't
I didn't
worry,
say I was right. I didn't say I was
I'll
right.
I'll let them tell you. I'll let them.
Guys, I didn't say I was wrong.
Get her.
Sorry.
Get her, guys.
No
Get
one
her.
drag me.
Get her.
I'll watch it. I'll
Tell her.
watch it. I'll watch
Yeah.
it.
Your homework assignment is by the end of this month.
Oh, I thought you were going to say by the next
watched,
podcast, I have to have
no.
all watched all 4.
By the end of this month, at least season 1 is watched.
Yeah.
It is legitimately the best of all. Like, I have rewatched all those seasons over and over, and every time I'm like, wow. I mean, I don't even know what clips to pull to post sometimes because I'm like, it's all so good. I just want to pull the entire season.
Well, the thing is, I think that when they first brought the show out, I like didn't know where Potomac was. So I was already just not, because I didn't know like Potomac. I was like, what is Potomac? Like, I was like, no. And then I just feel like I didn't really get enough promo for it. So it kind of fell on the back burner. And then my friends were like you with this energy. No, you need to watch it. You love Bravo. You're not watching Potomac. That's the best one. I was like, sure. Then I watched it and I was like, oh my God. This is so good.
It is so good. And I'm not kidding. Like, you will just be endlessly entertained by all. It's like, it's that kind of perfect casting that it was just, as they took such a risk. Like the people who pitched Potomac, they're like, just trust us. Like, Potomac, who, where? No one even knew how to say it. They're like, Potomac.
Yeah, like I had never heard of Potomac. So yeah, I was super. And that's my default. Like, if I haven't heard of a city, or if I feel like a city seems boring, like I never watch Dallas. I'm like, I don't have no desire for a Dallas.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. No, the cast is so good. And from season 1, episode 1, all through, like season 4, season 3. Oh my God, you're going to love it.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah,
I apologize to all the Bravo people out there.
I need to switch gears because I did not see that coming.
Yeah, you got really mad at me.
Yeah, this is our first fight.
No, it's
maybe
not.
Second.
No, it's not. You got really mad at me about Vanderpump, and then you had to eat your words.
What was it?
You got
Lisa Vanderpump?
Yeah, because I said I liked her. I remember the first time I said it, and you
got
really angry with me.
I forgot. Now, but I did have to eat my words, though, because this season has proven that I really genuinely think that Rinna completely leaked that puppy story.
I was like, it made so much sense to me at that time. I was like, why does everyone like not think that this lady over here did it? Like,
it just seemed like it was so easy that it could, because Vanderpump would have done it.
I think the reason why I knew it wasn't her is because I do love Lisa so much that I know when she does something and I know when she doesn't.
You're like, not this time.
Yeah, it's like she's not that she's not capable of doing it.
She's just like,
I just like
this time.
I just know like when she's done something and when she's not, even if she's saying she's not done it, I'm like, I know you've done it, even though I love you. Like, I know you did it. But I was like, she didn't do this one.
Specifically, not this time. This one time. We will be doing a bonus episode eventually about that. I've gotten some good bonus episode ideas that we're definitely gonna have to dive into. One of them being the origin of the Fox Force 5. And I think it's a good one to unpack. Just like how it kind of like formed as a result of the show. Like, I think that would be a good one to like dissect.
Also, quick tangent. I was at work and I talk about housewives constantly at work as well. And let me tell you, it's really crazy talking and debating with people who are actually devoted Rinna fans.
It's really hard.
Live. Yep. Not just like on the internet.
Scary.
Live. It's the most infuriating thing. Like,
is it someone you work with?
Yes, like yesterday. And it's actually a good friend of mine. And he was like, oh, I love Rinna. I just think she's fun. And then he's like, I don't like Garcelle. I think she's boring and she stirs the pot. I'm like,
yep.
Oh my God. I was like, you're so wrong. I'm like, it's not even like, I can't even accept this as an opinion. I was just like, you're just damn wrong.
Yeah.
Just damn wrong.
I know. Yep. My sister thinks that. I mean, not this season, not anymore. That was last season. She thought that. This season, my sister's able to be like, Rinna's crazy.
Yeah.
Like this season, if you watch this season and still think that, I'm like, what are you looking at?
I know, that's the thing. Like, I can accept still being on the fence about it from last season. I don't agree with it, but I can. But this season has been so clear that I can't accept that you like, then I'm like, I question who you are.
Like, yeah. What are you watching? Are you like, are you watching? So, because, you know, we all know what it's like to be on a phone, distracted, half watching a show. So like, are you really just barely watching and you just kind of get a general sense and you're just like totally tuned out?
Yeah.
Because that's the only way I can accept that that's why you still feel that way.
Yeah. Because this is, yeah. And I was even telling my friend who was like, I was like, the microaggressions of Lisa towards Garcelle is just unforgivable, unacceptable. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he also isn't from, the thing is, he's not from here. He's from crap. Where's he from? He's from, where's the place where everybody, all the turmoil is happening right now? By Russia is like doing it to them. Ukraine. He's from Ukraine. And I'm like, I feel like they might not have like those type of microaggressions there. And I was like, that's why I was like, maybe because like here in America and the deep rooted racism, it's just a little different. And like white,
because they just like don't have black people in the Ukraine,
or just not as like, it's just not as prevalent. You know what I mean? And like the deep rooted racism between like white women with black women, it's just an Americanized thing. So you might miss it. And he was like, that actually might be true. He's a gay man too. And he's just like loving. He's just like, I just like how like sassy she is and all that stuff. I'm like, see what, I think that you're missing some of the little things that she's doing and the way she speaks. She speaks to everyone like that. I was like, no, she doesn't. She does go off on everyone, but she specifically talks to Garcelle in a different way. And I was like, he's like, that might be true. He's like, I didn't really think about it in that way. And I'm like, yeah.
Good job, Pia. You turned him. Well, at least you got him thinking. How about that?
Yeah, I got him thinking. He was like, he didn't even know what I was talking about when I said microaggression.
Okay, you got him thinking. That's good. You sparked a conversation that could have at least put a little seed in his head for him to ponder. Whether he takes it and runs with it, who knows? But at least you're affecting change out there.
Yeah, the best change, right?
Wait, guys, real quick. The sponsor this week is ZocDoc. They're like the Yelp for doctors. All we have to do is use ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks. Go to the site, scroll down, hit download app, and download the app using that link. We need this sponsor to keep booking because Mama wants some money.
Yeah, and you have to make sure you do the link.
You have to go through ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks. Go to that site that way, and then scroll down to reach the little button that says download the app, and then you download from there. Okay.
And it literally takes 2 seconds. I did it. I did it for my boyfriend. Like, took under a minute.
Boom.
Less like 30 seconds. It's very quick.
Done. I'm going to be shamelessly plugging that this week because it's the easiest way for them. The metrics they're tracking, it costs everybody nothing.
Oh yeah, and it's free to download. And it's so funny, Emily, I've actually used ZocDoc before because when I lived in New York, it's like really hard to find, doctors.
Really?
And stuff. Yeah. When I lived in New York, I lived in New York for 5 years. And when I had like the government insurance, I like needed to find a doctor that was within that insurance. So I don't even know how I found out about them, but I did know. Maybe I Google searched and it popped up. So I always use ZocDoc to find like all my doctors. So it was great. It was super easy. So you just like put up whatever insurance you have in there, and they find you like doctors that are near you, and there you go. It's very easy.
Literally, I use it myself because I needed to find a new dentist. And there we go. You put, like I said, it's easy. It's like there's nothing wrong with it. It's Yelp for doctors. So guys, win all around for everybody here. So let's do it. All right. Enough plugging. Back to this. I love that they showed Dorit's reunion hair. Like they gave us that like collage on the screen.
I mean, like, she does have good,
brings it.
I was talking to my cousin Portia about it, and like, this is what we were saying, because we all agree that Garcelle and Sutton needs a new stylist. They need to fire their stylist, their hairstylist, their makeup stylist, their clothes stylist. And they need to ask Dorit who does their stuff, because Dorit, you could say what you want, but her like hair is like, whether you like her, it's something, it's always like good in some capacity.
Yep.
And it's snatched. I love her hair.
I love, like, even though it's different, like I always like it. Like,
yeah, like even though the infamous
clips,
even the infamous foil hair, I wasn't mad about it. Like it could have, it wasn't, I see the vision that they had and it wasn't completely executed perfectly, but I wasn't mad at the concept.
Yeah. No, I like that she takes risks for the reunion. I like that that's her thing. She's like, nope, it's reunion. Got to bring the hair, because she knows she's going to be sitting down.
Yeah.
So that's where
I actually have changed my mind about some of the rankings from last week of like my looks and like what I liked about people's stuff, from because I was basing it off of pictures, which again are touched up and whatnot. But like when you see them moving in live, it's much different. So I actually really would have, I'm gonna put Erica some pegs down. I actually really hate her hair. I don't like that bouffant thing. I don't like it. I was like looking at it.
Here's my problem. I'm so tacky that I was like, I would like that for like a play.
That's play hair though. That's not
right.
Life.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
not real life hair. I don't like that. That's excellent play hair.
Yeah, it's right. That would be so fun for like a musical theater show.
It's like when what was her freaking name? That blonde lady from New York who did the fashion show, and she was so excited about her fashion show like look and makeup, and she went to the after party and she looked crazy. Do you remember that?
I mean, season? Alex?
Yes. Remember, she was like, because she was like, she had just walked like in the fashion show, and she like, and in a fashion
was it
show,
Alex?
I think it was Alex.
Okay.
And in a fashion show, that looked good because it like it's extreme and it's theatrical and that makes sense on it. But then she was like excited and didn't want to take it off and went to the fucking after party, and she looked insane, and everyone was looking at her like why are you still looking like your costume, or even your costume?
That sounds very Alex.
So yeah, if she was doing like Grease the musical, like sure.
Mm-hmm. Or hairspray, or very hairspray,
very hairspray.
Except she said, when in doubt, be do ginger and casino. Oh my God. Like, okay, we get it. You think you are a sex pot.
God, she's so annoying.
She just really is like overdoing that.
And I also take back what I said about, I know she wasn't in this episode, but I saw more so when I was like looking at like the clips of Kathy. I actually do like her outfit for the reunion. I didn't think it fit for the occasion, but it did.
When she's sitting?
Yeah, it actually worked. And for what she was doing, the energy she was bringing with the outfit, it worked for me.
Yeah. Right away, what does Rinna do when they cut to her? She goes, Lois is with me.
Oh, I was mad about that.
And then she pulls out she's like this, I have this little bird. She looked crazy. I brought this little teeny tiny bird from Mexico. Here's my little bird there. And no one gave her even an ounce of a moment. They were like,
did you see Kyle's
face? Like, are you okay?
Well, the thing is, I feel like the look that Kyle gave was, if you think for a fucking minute that you saying this at the top, that this like Lois is with me is going to make us not go hard on you, you're out of your fucking mind.
That's exactly what she was thinking.
Like, that's what she thought.
That phase.
Like, that's what she thought when she did that. She was like, remember guys, my mom is no longer with us. Like, so please, like, that was like her trying to be like, remember, I'm fragile. Like, no.
Yeah. She goes, she's protecting me. That's right. And Andy goes, okay.
Yeah. That's not going to make me be easy on you with the questions. That's make the rest of the cast be easy. So yeah, have your bird. Sorry, not trying to be mean, but have your bird, and we're still going to
have your bird. Have your bird. Okay. So real truth. I initially, when they brought up the charity, I initially wrote toothless, not homeless. And because I was writing like, okay, this is, and because I just wanted to get that down so that I knew that this was the part of the, my notes. I'm like, okay, well, this is the charity part. So I wrote toothless, not homeless, and chic package. And then Andy goes, so do we all have the name down? Let's say it together. And then when they went homeless, not toothless, I had to go, oh shit, I had to delete it and rewrite it. So I still don't understand the name. But I love that they got Jamie Lee Curtis out at the very top, because she was not about to wait around all day long for them to finish fighting about anything.
Oh, absolutely not. And the thing is, not only that, I was already kind of annoyed that they were bringing her on, because I was like, please don't waste any of our precious moments of this reunion. It was too long of a season to take up with an appearance by Jamie Lee Curtis. As much as I love that queen, I don't have time for that. It was very short, which I appreciated. We didn't really need it, but cool. And I also thought it was really cool that that Dorit's little chicness thing got them so much money, and that's actually really sweet.
I know that the clip was circulating on already because they released the preview, but by the way, was it not, it was jarring when Andy goes, nice to meet you, hi, I'm Andy. I was like, oh, you don't know her? They all know her. I felt weird, like it was a weird power dynamic, because
yeah,
well, the thing met her.
I know, and she's Hollywood royalty. Her parents are deep Hollywood. She's Hollywood. And you know how Andy is. He gets really starstruck when it's important Hollywood people. You can't just be a basic actor or a basic entertainer. She's deep rooted, and you could tell he was trying to impress the shit out of her. He's like, I want her in my wheelhouse. I want to be able to get her to watch What Happens Live. He was excited. Yeah. And Jamie just had just so much authority on that set. It was she took over. She really
did. But she said, I didn't know the impact of this show.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, of course you didn't, because Dorit gave you TV gold by accident. She genuinely was that overwhelmed with joy and the chicness of your whole thing.
Yeah.
But she didn't know how the fans get. We get crazy over these lines, and it happened to be about your charity. And so when she rebranded the charity the Chicest Children's Charity, I was like, brilliant.
Yeah.
And the Dorit chic wind chime.
And I do hope that in part 2, when we get, I know we're bouncing around everybody and they're going to get their own segment, but when we get to Dorit, I hope we do circle back to the charity stuff, because I know back when the episodes first aired, we talked about this, Emily, where Dorit was so genuinely, and Jamie used that word as well, she was genuinely supportive of Kyle and Jamie's charity, and she was enthusiastic, and that was all genuine. With her, I know she kept on saying chic a lot, but that was all sincere. And Kyle not reciprocating that support with Dorit's homeless, not toothless thing. I'm like, I hope that we talk about that. I hope Dorit brings that up. I was genuinely happy for your charity and to promote it, but you didn't reciprocate that. So I hope we talk about that at some point when we get to Dorit's segment, because that ain't cool.
I feel like the way that segment's going to come up is going to be more about Kathy not getting the name.
And that sucks, because Kathy misspoke when she said the name.
They may bring up Kyle within that package, but I don't think it's going to be a Dorit package. I think it's going to be a Kathy package.
Okay.
It all started when Kathy couldn't get the name right about Dorit's chair. That will be the package, and then maybe within that package, because Dorit already got her package.
That was it.
She got her
just with the robbery stuff.
Well, she got her robbery, and then because what other package is she going to get?
I feel like with all of the I feel like there's a lot of little.
Well, they might do the Aspen trip.
Okay.
But I doubt it's going to be specific to, if they do a whole package of just Dorit and Kyle, I don't know if they would.
I just feel like there's some missed opportunities there, because that I want to put some cracks in the friendship.
I see what you're saying. If the producers knew what they were doing, they would. They would put a whole package together so that we could. But I feel like that might waste some time.
All right.
Kyle's already going to have enough cracks with Kathy.
All right. Fine.
That's my prediction. I
believe parts. You. I think that you're correct, but I feel like there's a missed opportunity there. I feel like
they're already going to be bringing up the Mauricio Dorit rumors.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
They're already doing that.
I feel like I know from the previews and stuff like that, they both played off like ridiculous, but I feel like we know Kyle. And even if she doesn't believe it, it's going to be on her, her conscience.
Like, especially because when they try to say there's like a swapping going on, we're like, no one thinks you're fucking PK.
Exactly. That's my thing. I'm like, no one ever thought you're fucking PK, but we all like, me and you did not think that Dorit and Mauricio are fucking, but
some people do.
Some people do. And I feel like, matters. And the thing is, that's all that matters to Kyle too. And as much as she might not believe it, I feel like that will make her be weird to Dorit sometimes, like especially if they're together with Mauricio, which I'm here for.
Like when he's like, ladies, stop fighting.
I know she's gonna be like,
what? Her face was funny because she was like, I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah.
And then Mauricio's like, hold on. And she was like staring at Dorit like a little kid who just like didn't want to forgive her sister.
Yeah, I know. I feel like Mauricio is gonna have to not do that anymore. Like he already
right.
He gets
one. He gets one
next season. If Dorit's on there, Mauricio is gonna have to be like, work that out by yourself, because anything that he says that is in favor to Dorit is gonna be Kyle's gonna be like, so you're fueling these rumors.
Very delicate situation moving.
He's gonna have to be like, I can't, don't hug me.
Totally.
Don't fucking hug me.
He's like actively running away from Dorit.
Yeah, like because Kyle's gonna be looking like, listen.
Dorit's like she has to always be like in the other room for Mauricio. He can never be like in frame.
Like that whole Mo thing. You better be calling him Mauricio.
Sir Mauricio Umansky.
Yeah,
full
don't
name.
Fucking call him Mo no more.
No more nicknames.
And Kyle's gonna be like, stop calling me Kai. Stop calling him Mo. We are Kyle and we are Mauricio. I do not know you.
We are not cool like that anymore. Jamie Lee Curtis giving it up to the crew was really sweet because the crew on reality shows do work so hard. They don't get enough props. They really don't. And they do. Their job is to be like in there for some serious shit. They have to capture some serious stuff.
Yeah.
And they get it no matter what. And so I loved her walking and talking right to the camera and giving the crew their props. And then so goodbye, Jamie Lee. Thank you very much. That was perfect.
It was just enough. The right amount of time. I'm so happy we got it in the top of the show. Now let's get down to business, baby.
And then Angie goes, can I ask a dumb question? And Erica, when don't you?
Oh, yeah.
My heart jumped. I was like, I'm going to throw up. I'm scared. Andy was like,
he did not like that. He was like, ooh.
He's like,
all right,
noted. He's like, fuck, damn it. You're not going to get fired because you're very good TV, but I didn't like that.
He's like, well, you just solidified that I'm not going to hold back on your ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like, sorry, I'm still bitter.
Yeah. So funny. You done fucked up. Off the top. We haven't gotten to you yet.
That's what he even said. He's like, we are just getting
He had a whole bunch of different cards. Like, I could ask you this, but like, yep. I will.
Sometimes I skim and get rid of the mean ones, but I won't do that this time.
Yeah.
We start out with the Jax online attacks, and Garcelle's like, it was his fucking first week of high school. I did not realize that her Playboy pictures were sent to him.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Really rough. And she says the hardest one was obviously if it wasn't for your white daddy, you would have a knee on your neck. And she's like, I'm trying to keep it together. And I'm like, I want to murder all of you right now because we know what you said, Erica, by the way. We know that you liked and responded to someone that was like, where was all this outrage when Erica's son was, being harassed in 2020 because he was a cop? Remember? And she liked it and was like, right? Or something. And like, so, and Andy points out that Rinna was the first to defend her online because she's like, that was the right thing to do. It was just horrible. It was horrible. And this becomes like this. I don't know how I feel about this whole moment, because they had to clearly be they discussed how they were going to talk about this. And it was like, Jax wasn't the only one that was getting attacked online. Rinna, Kyle, and Erica were also getting attacked online. And they show the like examples of comments that they were getting, right? And then he speaks to the camera and does this like, there's no place in this show. It's a TV show, everybody. There's no place for hatred bit. And I was like, I don't like this. I didn't appreciate this. I felt like this was purely just a moment for you to talk about how this affected Erica's son and Erica, because it was specifically because he was Black. And I don't like that you looped in these adults in this conversation.
If you go back to when this first happened, I predicted was exactly how they were going to handle this.
Did you?
I said that they were going to do a very generic like PSA, and it wasn't going to be like sincere.
Oh, and it did say that. You're right.
And I knew this is how they were going to handle it. They did give Garcelle a little bit more time than I thought that they would, but I knew that this was how they were going to do it. They were going to do it very PSA, very like, we don't condone this, very not like asking the really hard questions, but I will say that they did a little more than I thought that they would.
Yeah, because she did get a chance to say that, if I'm honest, I did think there was a pattern of attacking my children when they cut over to Erica.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's right. And I felt like I wasn't wanted on this show, and this was a way to get me out. But I have an investigation going. That gave me chills. I was like,
I know. They were like, fuck.
They were like, you do. Although I am under the assumption at this point that it was Nicki Minaj. Like that theory actually kind of tracks.
Because she was the one who paid for the bots.
Have you not seen that?
That theory? I mean, I know that she had a problem with Garcelle because of the thing on the reel, but I didn't know that the people thought she's the one who paid for the bots.
Yeah, that's the new theory, because she then responded to Garcelle speaking out like, please leave my son alone, whatever. Right. Nikki then was like, really? How did you feel about like when all that stuff? The fact that she was even aware of that happening to Garcelle's son was what caught my attention and caught everyone else's attention. Like, oh, so you do know about that. Huh.
Well, I mean, she's a super. Well, I wasn't like surprised that she knew about the drama because she's such a Bravo super fan. But I mean, I just thought. I'm not saying that that's not a good theory. I'm just saying I feel like she just like latched on to that because she was still feeling some type of way about the reel. So she was like, just being like, "Oh, how does it feel?" But I mean, that's a theory. Okay, I'm not going to dismiss that theory. I just want to know who did it. And if it is Nicki Minaj, you're a piece of shit because you're a Black woman. And to do that, that's why it feels like I don't want to believe that theory, because it's like you're a Black woman. And I just like wouldn't think in a million years, no matter how mad you are at another adult, you would do that to a child. I think a Black boy child, like you just know what that's like.
Oh,
that's why I'm like,
but we've also seen what she's done to the accusers against her husband and
right, but this is a child, and it would be different if it was like directly to Garcelle. So that's why it's really hard for me, like as she's a full adult, so it's really hard for me to believe as a Black woman you would pay bots to be racist to a Black boy.
And it's clear, and clearly Diana shows zero remorse for it.
Right. So that's why that theory is super, even though I know Nicki Minaj can be really terrible, but like to a child, like I would hope that that's not what she would do.
So
she knows the ramifications of that.
So let's go under the assumption that it's Diana. Let's stay with that for sake of this recap.
Yeah.
Okay. I can stay with that. I can go back to that emotional place. I can live there. All right, Dorit robbery package. They give us a very long video package as opposed to like Southern Charms reunion. They gave you none. Like it's unnecessary how long it is. Like we saw it. Okay. We get like move it along. Like it's like we got like a 2-3 minute recap of it. Like, yes, we know we were there. Like go into it. And so they discuss that and what the trauma was like. And then it goes into all the theories against it. And I was like, like, I rarely am like, that was us. That was, yeah. That was
yeah, I know.
I was like, yep. But I'm sorry. The phone thing still didn't make sense. He's like, why do you think they left your phone? The only way it can make sense here is that maybe they wanted to give themselves a head start before she called anybody. Yeah. So they were like, we'll take the phone out there and then you have to come all the way back out and grab it. Maybe that was why. That's the only thing I can maybe say that's why they left the phone, but like left it by the gate.
Yeah. I don't know. It still feels weird.
I'm still gonna go with the theory that PK did try to do this for an insurance thing, but they got the date wrong. But I don't think he's ever told Dorit that.
Yeah,
I don't think Dorit knows that would have happened. Oh, by the way, PK is trash. PK's trash.
What happened?
This is why, okay, for the record, I'm very proud of this. I never got on the bandwagon, even last season when everyone was like, PK and Mauricio were hilarious in that scene with Erica. I only thought Mauricio was funny because he had that like stoner giggles. I thought PK was like, okay, he's just thinking he's hilarious. But PK to me has always felt like he looks like a troll. He posted, there's this, it kind of went viral. It's this like non-binary person who is talking about how they are neurodivergent and all these like various labels that they give themselves. And it's gone around like a lot of hateful conservative people who don't like it and like, oh, this is just going too far. It's just a list of all the things that they've labeled themselves.
Okay.
And granted, I don't understand half of it, but it's like, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect my life whatsoever.
Right.
So he posted to his Instagram and with the caption like, oh, that clears things up or something like that. And it's just a bunch of comments of people being like, this is too far. See, this is just what I'm talking about. This is annoying. And like people talking shit about this person. And it just showed me like who his demographic is, like a bunch of like hateful. I'm like, you are a white cisgendered man. Like, what does this do? Well, how does this affect you? You clearly don't hang out with anyone like this. So what does it matter to you that this person's like this?
But that's
Boy
weird too.
George.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that is kind of weird that he would put that because he does represent Boy George. And I feel like Boy George
is the epitome of gender bending.
Yeah, that's why that's kind of odd that he would decide to choose this hill to die on.
Yeah. And so I posted it, I'm just saying like, this just doesn't make sense. It doesn't affect your life at all. And a couple people had commented and they sent me screenshots of his reply to them in the comments. And like someone was like, this is just ridiculous. Like it doesn't affect you whatsoever. Why even post this just to be hateful to this person? And his response back was like, it's my opinion, love. Take it or leave it. Just like fucking gross trash human being.
It's like, okay, have your like, it's just like the thing is, it's just an unnecessary opinion to like put out.
Why waste your time?
It's like, why do you, I just don't understand the point of it. Like my whole thing is it doesn't affect his life in any way. So I'm not sure why he went out of his way to post it. It's not, I don't understand it, but okay.
Why are you wasting a post on that? If not to be hateful. It's not like you're surrounded by a bunch of people like that and you can't keep it together. You can't keep it straight.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect you. So he sucks. Okay, sorry, back to this. That's why my point is he would do that. So Andy swallows a yawn. And one more time, Dorit goes, am I boring you? And I forgot that it was literally exactly what happened last year. And the look that she gives Andy she's like, I'm not laughing this time. Okay. She's like, I am talking about my trauma. And Andy like came, he's like, I'm sorry. He's like freaking out. And then so she starts,
it's like early too. So it's like,
he's like, first Erica, now Dorit. And so he's like, I'm sorry. Please go on. And she's like, so, I have days that are good and I have days that are bad. And Andy like interrupts her and goes, so you have PTSD. Like he's not having it. She goes, I have diagnosed PTSD. And then Kyle interrupts, whether this is editing or not, and goes, did you guys know that the burglar reached out and said that he had our stuff?
I know, it's like she's talking about herself, Kyle. This is another example of like, they make this example later, but like of her comparing her situation to another person's situation, which is what she was annoyed with Sutton about apparently all season.
Literally she just said she has diagnosed PTSD and you bring up this. And of course they're like, you have follow-up questions. This is a big thing to say. And so she's like, yeah, we sent him a little bit of money and blah, blah, blah. Erica cannot get over. She's like, why would you send him money? He's a criminal. That sounds like a shakedown. I have to say, as Erica's a trash human being, but it's just really strange to have someone with like this trash personality on this stage amongst these women, like saying things like, that's a shakedown. What? What are you talking about?
She wants her mom's like rare jewels back that she'll never be able to replace. So she's gonna pay.
Yeah, give me those things.
Yeah, she's like, I mean, I would too. Like if it's one of those things where
irreplaceable,
it's like irreplaceable, and yeah, she's like, I don't care. I'll give them money if they're gonna legitimately give me back my stuff. It's not like some purses that they stole. I don't care about she lost very specific things from her mother. That's what she's trying to get back, guys. Like,
yes, that's a shakedown. Why would you? It's a criminal. Like, takes one to know one.
I was thinking that too. I was like, you need to shut up right now about criminality.
That's a word. That's something you need to. She always goes extra hard on those topics.
I know. I'm like, is it because you are a criminal and you know what one is?
That's exactly. I'm like, you set yourself up. Stop saying those words because it just points to you.
I would just be very quiet when anytime anything illegal would be brought up.
Exactly. You just need to shut up.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah. Keep it quiet. Okay. Now it's Crystal's package.
This one got messy fast.
Which one got real messy?
Very messy. And I actually had an offline conversation before the reunion started from a clip that had run around with Emily, and I had an opinion and I quickly changed it once I watched the show, as you thought I would, Emily.
I did. I was like, I remember.
Because I forget the season was 5 million years long that I kind of forgot all of the Crystal nuances, and she really reminded me in this package. Let's go.
Let's do this. I liked the intro to it though. Andy goes, your need for safe spaces left a lot of women at a loss for words. I'm like, ooh, this is already a troll. Andy does not like Crystal. That is pretty fucking clear.
It felt very apparent by especially the end of the Crystal segment. He was having none of it.
Oh, so they show the whole package. All right. So right away, there's the viewer question regarding Sutton having walked in on Crystal with the coat. And it was like, was that about, which I thought was a very ridiculous question because, you would know if she was fucking purging, but like, is it, was it a fear that you were being walked in on when you were purging? I have to say, I have said this from day one. Finding out that she has an eating disorder made me understand why Sutton walking in when she was naked was much more of an issue for her than it would be for someone else who doesn't have an issue with their body. I was like, okay, so I get it now. She has an eating disorder. So like she was naked and it was like, oh my God, that was much. But it was the doubling down and refusing to say like, look, I have an issue with my body. So maybe I experienced it a little bit more intensely. It was like the refusing to ever say that part.
And I think that's always been our issue with Crystal. It's not that we don't empathize or believe that that's how she felt and that was her truth, but her refusal to acknowledge to
say that part.
Yeah. To acknowledge that might not be actually the reality of what the situation was, and that she might have made it seem, her altered version of what happened for her was not what actually happened. So when she was initially telling people about it and telling it through her lens, it made Sutton look like she did something that she actually didn't do in reality. So for that, she could be sorry for that. And it just like, now that she's processed what actually happened, she could be sorry for how she retold it, but she can still be like, but honestly, because of my eating disorder, now that you guys know, that's why I felt so intensely about it. Like we can the two things can be the same. Like, you know what I mean? But exactly. I also, but the problem is these ladies do not make it a safe space. And I do agree with Crystal, for her to be able to take it back, she gets immediately really defensive because they don't give it room for her. Like they just call it lying. And I think that's what makes her get so defensive and double down. And I can understand that too, because she wasn't lying and it wasn't malicious. It was just what she was feeling. And I think that, thank God there are cameras so she could see what happened and maybe understand that that was not what happened. And it was a part of her dysmorphia, body dysmorphia, that caused her to have those reactions, that she can like understand that Sutton didn't have ill intentions, and then they can move, which is why they were able to move forward. But those ladies don't, I do understand those ladies they don't have empathy like that. So it's not really easy to to get that. I'm sorry, am I boring you?
For the listeners, I just started yawning. That was awesome.
I'm wrapping it up. I just want to say, okay, anyway.
That was really funny. Okay, viewer question for Kyle, which Kyle actually handles well. It goes, why is it okay for you to bring up your eating disorder to relate to Crystal, but it's not okay for Sutton to bring up her miscarriage to relate to Diana? And Kyle's like, well, it's not okay. And I behaved horribly at Garcelle's party. I was too drunk and I didn't come out right. And then I'm like, okay, good job, Kyle. Well done. Just like I don't mind someone that could be like, I was too drunk, because I've been too drunk and done stupid shit. It's like, okay, good, fine. She didn't excuse it. She just was like, I fucked up. However, then they go to Erica. Okay. And say, hey, Erica, do you think it's a good idea to tell someone with an eating disorder to take laxatives? And she goes, no. I said that's what I would do.
Girl, it's not the same. It's the same thing.
But then I found out, hey, you can't say that. And Crystal's like, I'm trying to throw her a bone. Crystal's like, yeah, I think we talked about it afterwards. And Erica's like, hey, look, I grew up in a dance studio. Okay. And then Andy, I thank God, Andy goes, well, you did follow it up with don't have the chicken nuggets. And Erica goes, well, of course, my smart ass said that. Yeah, I did it. It was the wrong thing to do. So, okay, here's the problem here, Erica. Not only are you an asshole with like the Tom Girardi victims, plane crash, etc., you're also an asshole with this.
Yeah.
So you're a villain on every front. So it's not like you're just, misunderstood with all the legal shit. In this scenario, take out everything else, pretend nothing else is going on. If it was just about this in terms of the world of housewives,
yeah,
you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, she lacks empathy. She's just like, was I not supposed to, should I have not said it? Sure. But if she doesn't see like the gravity of like what that could have done to Crystal, and how that could have really like made her spiral more. Like she could have been like, maybe Crystal would have latched on like, maybe I should take laxatives.
And
instead of
they're
purging.
Trying to tell her. They're trying to be like, it's actually another form of an eating disorder. She's like, yeah, I don't care. She clearly has seen all the footage of Crystal, talking shit or not, or just being honest, whatever. And Erica's like, Crystal's dead to me.
Yeah, she's trash. And
yeah,
she's just trash. I can't say it. I don't know what else to say about her?
She's a great villain because we've never seen a worse villain. She's like next level villain on every level, but she is evil.
She truly is. She's like, there's no redeeming qualities about this lady.
Yeah. Full evil. All right. Viewer question was, hey, Crystal, how'd you feel about Dorit sharing that you were vomiting with the group? So here's a question I have. I was vocal about how wrong it was, and I have a decent size account. I know other people were vocal about it. Dame Galley wrote an entire article about it. And Dorit looked shocked.
Yeah, like this was the first time she was hearing about it.
She goes, "What?" I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be news to you, Dorit. This cannot be news. So this was fake. You were faking being shocked because you didn't really want to face this one.
Yeah.
I would have respected you a whole lot more if you'd been like, you know what? I've learned that was private and I apologize. Like, I didn't realize it, like, because it is true. You don't say vomit in a group set. Like, that is a very specific and graphic word. You use other terminology. It is true. You just don't. So when she said vomiting every day, I was like, whoa, I don't think she would want that shared with this group. And so Dorit was lying when she acted like she had no idea.
Yeah.
And it was sad to watch Crystal have to like re-explain it.
Yeah.
And have Dorit be like, you told it to the entire table. Thanks, Dorit. Not cool. Right now, the big one. The dark comment.
Oh, God. This is where, Crystal started off okay. And then this is where we lost Crystal here.
Spiral. So I wrote down, like, the way this dialogue went, I have to say that as much as this is like frustrating, it was kind of like an amazing scene.
Absolutely.
It was like riveting. Okay, so Crystal goes, I didn't know Sutton. It was the first time that I talked to her. So I was experiencing like that. And Andy goes, but you knew her when you brought it up. You knew her when you brought it up a year later. And Crystal did not expect that. She goes, but it wasn't something specific. It was the overall conversation that made me feel a certain way. That is different, when that was
it's completely different. That's not how Crystal does that. Like, that's not.
We're how like, whoa.
You made it seem like she said something super specific
that you're never going to reveal because it's one thing that you're never going to say. And Andy says, well, why not say it was the overall tone, not something specific? And then Crystal goes, well, did I not say that? Did you guys not feel that way? And everyone's like,
no. And it goes back to the same way she described when Sutton walked into the room. You know what I mean? She went to each individual person and told this like exaggerated story. And so everyone thought everyone thought Sutton went in there being a weirdo to Crystal until they saw until they all were in the same room and they started talking about it, and Crystal started backtracking. They're all like, oh, God damn. She done inflated a story. And now we're attacking Sutton for something she didn't really do.
Like, it's so Crystal goes, look, if someone I met today said it, I would still feel like it was heavy and dark and it was not okay. But then Rinna and Erica are like, but what was it? What was it? We still don't know what it was. And Crystal's like, it was the tone. And then Andy, but when I asked you on Watch What Happens Live, was that the comment? You said, no, it was worse. And when Crystal goes, no, okay, I'm sorry. Like, she truly means it. Like, I'm sorry, I messed up. Like, I misspoke. I was like, whoa. Because that Watch What Happens Live appearance threw us all for a loop.
Yeah.
When she went on Watch What Happens Live and said that she was very smug
Yeah, like she was really, it's feeling very Rinna-y, like you don't even know what Kathy's done, but there's nothing there because nothing actually happened. And that's why they're not saying it, because when you actually say whatever if you said verbatim the conversation between you and Sutton, we would all have our own interpretation. And that's her fear, that what she was so inflated, it's so dark, it's much worse. And if she actually gave us a transcript of the conversation, some of us might be like, that wasn't cool, but it wouldn't be like, that was dark, that was much worse, because everyone's experience in a conversation is going to come off, we're going to feel differently, you know what I mean? And unless she said something specific, which apparently she did not, we might not agree with how Garcelle felt.
And she's like, that was not the comment I was referring to. And at this point, Erica's making a face like, this is.
Well, because Erica and was it Dorit? Erica and Dorit were so team Crystal on that trip in
Rinna.
Oh, it was Rinna? Yeah, they were so like, no, like, because they were so anti-Sutton. And now they're feeling like they defended her against her other teammates on the Fox Force 5. And there was nothing there.
Right? Good point. And Crystal's like, it was just the conversation. And Dorit's like, so there was nothing specific. And then Kyle, that was not what you said in La Quinta. And then they flash back, and the way, like, seeing it again when Crystal's like, there was a lot more said that was very dark. I'm like, wow, she really. And again, I want to remind everyone, I do understand in that moment, Crystal did feel very thrown off because she had been invited there to talk about what she had felt the night before. And then Garcelle slam dunked on her and was like, I think that whole conversation with Sutton last year was a setup, basically. And I was like, Garcelle, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was the only time when Garcelle was super messy this season.
I was like, what are you doing?
That was a very messy move.
I get Crystal being thrown off, but all she had to do later was be like, look, you know what? It wasn't something specific. It was an overall tone to the conversation that I was very uncomfortable with. All she had to do was say that.
Yeah.
Later. That's all she had to do. When everyone later was like, what did she say? It's like, look, it wasn't something specific. It was an overall tone to the conversation that I felt. That's all she had to say.
Honestly, when Garcelle asked her that question, I feel like anything that Sutton would have said, you would have like not liked or wouldn't have been okay with. She should have just been like, you're right. Because of the conversation we had, I didn't like the tone of the conversation. I didn't think that the way that she was speaking about race, I didn't love her attitude. I felt she was very ignorant. So yeah, so anything she said triggered me. Because that's probably what was happening. Whatever conversation she had with Sutton, she felt like she was an ignorant lady. So anything that she said, she was going to be like, you are that girl. And that's okay.
And unfortunately, like I'll give Crystal a lot of grace because she was thrown off. It was like, oh my God. So she did exactly what Dorit said. She got nervous and was like, okay, well, that's actually not true and she got messy herself and said something a little bit hyperbolic.
Yeah.
But later she had 1,000 opportunities.
Yeah, that's the problem. In the moment, we can give her some grace, but her problem is she doesn't know how to just say, hey, yeah, maybe now that I'm processing it.
Now that I'm seeing your reaction to it, I don't want you guys to think that Sutton is like blatantly racist or anything like that. She's not. It's just because she never said that. She never let her off the hook.
Yeah, that's the problem. She kept on giving us this, like, dangling this like bait of it, like, and letting us, to Erica's point, imagine what she could have said. And we are all thinking it's something racist. And I'm glad everyone was saying it. We thought she said something racist. Like that's how you made us feel.
And that's even at that dinner, Erica goes, you need Crystal to say that you're not racist, right? And Crystal wouldn't. Crystal knew the stakes in the moment and didn't help her out.
Yeah, because that's a big accusation. And then because of that, I don't know if anybody remembers this because it came and went, but then the friend of her daughter allegedly came out and said that she was that friend in the thing and she isn't who she says she is, and she is racially biased or whatever she said, and George made the she was alluding to. And so she opened up cans of worms for people to come at Sutton.
Which is what happens, which is why they were worried about it. So Kyle goes, so you weren't being honest, and La Quinta and Crystal goes, no, you called my experience lying. And then when Garcelle gets involved, like we hadn't heard from Garcelle yet. I was like, oh, Garcelle is talking. She goes, no, not your experience. What you said was, she said something dark. And Crystal goes, that's how I felt. And Garcelle, no, but it wasn't a feeling what you said. And that was like, exactly. You didn't make it seem like I felt like the conversation was dark. You said she said something dark.
That's very different. It's very, very different. And that's what she's not getting a hold of. Or is she's refusing to get a hold of.
And Garcelle's like, I kept saying, what did she say? What did she say? Because if she said something racist, I would have to question my friendship with her. Hello. I kept saying that over and over again. And it's like, Crystal, I said that to your face. So, and at no point did Crystal think to go, no, it's nothing like that. Like it was a tone of the conversation that really affected me because I didn't know her. And now I know it's she never let her off the hook.
And if I don't know if memory serves me, please tell me if you recall this, Emily. But when they initially had the conversation, I feel like Crystal, did she not go out of her way to say, Garcelle, you wouldn't like the conversation either?
Yes.
So that also was like, you painted a narrative.
Yeah. Like, this is really bad.
Like you're saying, if the thing is, Garcelle has it like, she almost used Garcelle as a weapon. Like even if Garcelle wouldn't approve of it, which was like putting validation on her, what she was saying.
Yep.
So which is why we all thought it was something racist. Like you're saying, if Garcelle wouldn't like it, which means it almost feels like it was something towards Black people specifically, and it was going to be racist.
Thank you.
That's come on, girl. You have to see how that sounds. And then, like, especially again, I can give you benefit of the doubt in the moment. Things like you sometimes don't even hear everything you're saying when you're talking, but you have cameras and it got played back. You didn't. There's so many times where you could hear it back and be like, that is not how I meant for it to come off, and say that, and you won't do it.
Kyle goes, it felt like you wanted us to believe that she said something racist. Crystal says, I did not want that. And if I wanted to bring it up, I would have done it 2 years ago. Okay, another question. Oh, by the way, though, Erica under her breath goes, what a cop out.
I know. Then that's when I was like, Erica's pissed that she even wasted any time on that in La Quinta. Is that how you say it? La Quinta, because like they really were gonna like campaign for Crystal. So now I feel like Erica was like, I wasted my time.
Right there with her. She called you a liar, Crystal. To stand up for yourself. All that bullshit. Yeah. So there's my other problem here is that you also then went so far as to go on Watch What Happens Live and be like, that wasn't the conversation, but that's okay. When they showed the conversation that you're talking about, because Andy says, is the pool conversation what you found offensive? She goes, yeah, I did. So they show the pool conversation again. And I'm like, okay. And so Andy's face, though, was like, all right. Like Andy's like, so he throws it over to Sutton and he goes, this is really clearing you right now. But of course, everyone's like, we already knew. By the way, I got leaked some very ridiculously false tea, which I didn't share because I knew it had no merit. I got leaked some quote tea from someone saying that Garcelle herself told them that they knew they knew what Sutton said, and they're all secretly holding on to it and protecting Sutton. This was told to me months ago. And they were like, should I leak what Sutton said, what Garcelle told me Sutton said? And I was like, no, don't leak that, because I don't think you have any merit behind it. And they're like, I heard it from Garcelle. Okay. This is why you don't believe everything you hear, people. This is why I'm not one of those pages that leaks everything, because I don't believe half of you have bullshit.
You have journalistic integrity. You need to have you can use to have two verified sources before you're going to post anything. I know it's so funny because I'm a very premature, like latching on, like, I'm always room for like, it's not true, but I'm also like, love the gossip. So I'll like send anything that I see, I will immediately send to Emily without fact checking it at all, because I know she'll fact check it. I'm like, I was like, do you think this is true? Find out. That's literally because I know she's not going to just run with it. And there's been times I sent her something that does pan out, but she's had it for like a day or so, and she's waited because she doesn't feel the urge to be the first one to post it, because she doesn't want to post something that's just wrong.
Yeah, I don't like breaking stories. It scares me. Too many people have too many questions. I'm like, I don't know. Someone else do it. I'll be later. I also kind of like just sitting back watching, being like, I already know, and just like I'll make my cool reaction videos, and that's all.
Yeah.
So Sutton really lets Crystal off the hook here, and no one's happy about it.
Yeah, they really wanted Sutton to go in on her and like demolish her. And Sutton's just like, that's the thing, is Sutton is actually that she doesn't want to demolish anybody, not even Erica. She just is trying. She has questions, and that's really all it is. It's just
because she's like this. She goes, look, for Crystal, this was emotionally taxing for her. It felt weird having Garcelle put her on the spot like that in La Quinta when she was already in an emotional position, and she has an issue with this shit, and she's learned her lesson because they're friends in real life.
Yeah,
two of them, they go to Dodger games and stuff, and I like that.
They go to dinner,
yes, and so she's like not wanting to go there. Andy though was not having it, because Crystal's like, why can't this be okay? And Andy says, I think it's great you're okay, but I spent 3 episodes wondering what this dark comment was. He was not fucking happy.
I actually would love to like be a fly on the wall watching Andy watch these episodes, because like he does have to watch the episodes. I'm like, how does he watch them? Is he all like in it, or is it just business as usual? Like, right? How does he like, does he enjoy it?
Right, totally.
Like, is he like us? Like, ooh, and this was like the first time I think I've ever really seen him be like, no, this was a storyline that I was invested in, and I have questions.
I need resolution.
He's like, no. I felt like he was a fan for 5 seconds. He's like, no.
But then Crystal claps back and goes, make this a learning experience. I said, oh, you better watch your mouth, girl. Watch it right now with that high and mighty bullshit. And Andy goes, the learning experience seems to be, don't accuse someone of saying something very dark on television. And Erica's like, and don't back it up. I'm like, oh, girl, you walked right into that. That was not the move. That was not, you might be a friend of for sure next season.
Oh, after Crystal's segment, I was like, our predictions of the casting, I was like, oh yeah, she definitely going to get demoted. This is a definite, because the thing is, these people need to realize, who are not seasoned, the reunion is always your audition for the next season. It's not necessarily what happened on the season. It's right here, and how in the reunion is how you handle it. Mm-hmm. And she did not handle that well. She is gonna get a friend of, for mark my words, for sure. Mm-hmm. She's not gonna get fired. I don't think she'll get fired. I don't think it was a fireable offense, but
we also do see her fighting real good with Kyle next week, though, so she may be able to come. She may bring it. I do like seeing Kyle and Crystal fight. I like it because like Kyle is still very Kyle's very juvenile in her
she way. Is. That's a very good word to describe her.
Yeah, and so and Crystal's younger, and so she can kind of like, she's not gonna fuck around with Crystal and her like, that's how I felt Kyle's not going to deal with that. And she's going to fight. Crystal's going to fight with Kyle kind of like a sister. And so I sort of like them fighting. I like that feud. So I'm like,
but the problem is, but the thing is, like she's bringing it right now. Like I'm surprised Crystal's speaking, like, even though it's like not making sense, like it is good and entertaining. This is the most entertaining she's been the entire season. But just the way that she annoyed Andy, I just feel like Andy is going to demote her. Just be off of that. I feel like he was annoyed with her, so his mind is made up about it.
When she said make this a learning experience to him, I was like,
he was like, I'll teach you.
He's like, I'll teach you what the lesson here is. You're demoted.
Yeah.
Dorit reminds Crystal, though, and I was happy she did. She's like, the reason that you brought it up to begin with was in an effort to make yourself look good, because Garcelle called you out and you threw Sutton in the fire. And Crystal's reasoning here proves it, unfortunately. She goes, I didn't do it to put her in the fire. I felt that I was in an incredibly impossible situation. Like, well, so then
that's what you did.
Fire.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I would that, to me, I actually don't. I can live with her doing it initially. I can live with her going, what she said was very dark, and like being really like firm in that scene. I can't live with her continuing to double down over and over and over again throughout the whole, like, I'm like, just, you had too many opportunities to be like, look, it's not what you, but you didn't. So, okay.
Yeah.
But then Andy goes and insults Millennials. And I was like, excuse me? He goes, Kyle, you call Crystal a dramatic millennial, and isn't that a little redundant?
I was like, watch your mouth, Andy.
I was like, oh, wow, your boomer is showing.
I know. I was like, watch your mouth.
I was like, what the fuck? What did that happen? Why did you need to go insult your entire demographic, basically? I'm like, I'm going to say, like, I think the ages of, like, I don't know, 30 to 45 is the bulk of the people who watch these shows.
Yeah, I was like, I did not appreciate. I am not dramatic, you bitch.
I know. I was like, I'm not dramatic.
I was like, I'm not dramatic, you fucking bitch. I'm starting a petition.
I'm like, I am making a post about this where I'm going to list all the reasons why I was offended by that.
Oh my God, I have anxiety about it.
I need to call my therapist to talk about it.
You think I'm dramatic? You think I'm dramatic?
What? But I need you to list all the reasons you think I'm dramatic.
Have you been thinking this the whole time? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Are you mad at me?
You're mad at me. Okay, now I'm feeling insecure about our relationship, Andy. Andy, do you like me? Okay, it's fine. I don't even care. I do care.
We start calling him from a restricted number.
Tell you answer right now, Andy.
Hi, Andy. It's Emily. I'm calling from a different number. Hi, are you mad at me? Well, you called me dramatic.
I just want to know why. I'm not even gonna be mad. I just want to know why. I just want to know why. I just want to know why. I don't know how can I change it.
So
maybe we are.
Maybe we get it.
Self-awareness.
Okay, fine. Though, dude, when Kyle starts explaining like why she thinks Crystal's dramatic, and Crystal goes, didn't you say you felt violated when someone broke into your house?
This is the stupidest thing she could have fucking said. I was
like, why did you do that? Abort. Abort.
Like the fucking the fuck?
Get out.
Did you hear what you said, Crystal? Didn't you use the word violated when someone broke into your house? When someone home invaded your home, your house, took your prized possessions, instilled fear in you. Didn't you say you used the word violated, which is the exact definition of that? That is what violated
you basically
means.
Gave it to Kyle to go, yeah, not when someone brought me a jacket.
Yeah, like that's the stupidest thing. Like that is actually like, it's funny because they kept on trying to give her the like what violating means, and she just gave her an example of what like Crystal just Crystal accidentally gave the actual definition of violation and outed herself as why that wasn't a violation. It's crazy. You just gave
why'd you do that?
The fucking like evidence.
You handed them evidence. They're like, thanks for that. I'm like, is this the state's witness or the defense witness? I can't.
Right. I felt like I was watching the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial all over again. Like, I'm like, who are you? Are you also Johnny's lawyer?
God, Crystal.
What is happening?
But then Crystal is like, she's trying to explain. She's like, why harp on a word and not just ask about my experience?
Because you kept saying that word. That's why you were harping on the word.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I do want to like go there with you. I do. I want to go there and be like, yeah, no, I do understand that, like, because Garcelle tried in La Quinta. Garcelle was literally there next to Crystal saying, you're just not listening to her. Like, let's just listen to her because you're too busy fighting her. But then they kept fighting her and like, it got out of hand. So Garcelle is aware that like that is something they should do, but she takes it so far and becomes kind of smug and stubborn. She gets that smug, stubborn energy going.
Yeah.
It's really hard to want to hear her experience. Like when she's at that lunch with Kyle and she goes, I'm not going to say what she said. And then Kyle goes, well, then you never should have said it. And she goes, lesson learned.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like,
I'm going to actually like, okay. Like, here's the problem is I'm mad about that. Like, don't talk like that. Don't act like that. Okay?
It's very much like I gave you this nugget of information and you'll never get any more from that. You just have to live with it.
Yeah. Live with it. I'm not changing that word.
Live with it.
And then she has her own inside joke about how these are very big words. I know that. I'm like, oh, and it's because someone tried to say when she said that thing to Garcelle, like, I know these are big words. I'm like, because we were like, that's a microaggression. And someone was like, no, it's not a microaggression. It was because, they're all about how she's, using these words. And, I'm like, it's an inside joke that she made up. Only she knows the inside joke. Yeah. No one else is aware that this is an inside joke about her using big words. Like she's become like so superior above them all.
Yeah. Because it's
hard. She's married to fucking Rob Minkoff.
Yeah. And then she's like, she reminds me of like how I used to like start off any like speech that I would have, like according to the Oxford Dictionary, and like you just like say, like makes you sound smarter. And you just like say the definition. That's what she does every time. Well, according to the Webster's.
Okay. Yeah. Like it makes you sound
that's
credible.
Literally any speech I would have in school. I would start off like racism, according to the Oxford Dictionary. Literally, that's one of my speeches. According to the Oxford Dictionary, is this, and it means that, because it makes you feel
like I feel like I started my speeches like that too.
Yeah, like
did they teach us to do that?
I think they might have taught us how to do that, and that's very millennial of us. That's why it's like
we're so millennial.
That is like when she was saying that, I was like, oh my god, she's doing like the like
oh shit.
Like, okay, like this is how you do it, Emily format, like
fuck.
Standardized test, bitch. Like,
that's so. I'm like, because that sounds familiar. I feel like you had to start with a source, like prove your credibility.
How would I like? I think one of the topic was for my speech. What's one thing you would change about the world? And I was like, I would change racism. And okay, I want a bronze medal on that fucking speech. Okay.
I love it. Okay, then Andy says, why did you say that you weren't surprised you were the only one that knew that requesting Michael Jackson was problematic? And Erica couldn't wait to be like, why? What's why?
Okay.
All right, and then even Dorit, why? Yeah, allegations. They're allegations. And Erica kept saying, well, he beat the case. He beat the case over and over again.
Oh, God. And she made it about herself in that moment because she's trying. What she's trying to say is like, remember that, guys. When you beat the case, that's it.
Legal.
Even if there's a possibility that it happened, if you beat the case, that's all that matters.
legal stuff.
And I don't even really want to get into Michael Jackson stuff because that's also like a huge thing. And it's like, I get it. I feel like Crystal like didn't really need to like go there with it because honestly, I don't even think that is the reasoning why all that happened. It wasn't that it was problematic to. No, it was the DJ didn't react to
it wasn't
Kathy
that exactly
for it being problematic. He didn't. She could have said any song and he would have reacted, or she. I don't know if it was a man. The DJ could have reacted that way toward her. It had nothing to do with it being specifically Michael Jackson and them not wanting to play it. It would have been any song. So that's why the comment of the problematic thing was too woke for me. If we like, you know what I mean? The over like politicizing of that's not what that was not what was happening here.
Exactly.
Whatever you feel about Michael Jackson, that was not what was happening in this moment.
No, not at all. Then they talk about the 14 friends. Now, I genuinely, maybe Pia, you can explain. I'm confused as to why Kyle is confused. Can you explain why Kyle's confused
about the 14 friends? I think Kyle wants to. Why? Yeah, Kyle because wants
what
to be
did Crystal say that was confusing? Because here's what I heard. I heard Crystal say.
I don't think she said anything that was confusing at that time.
She said that she got the show and there were this group of 14 friends that basically like started to kind of like pull away and not talk to her anymore. And then, the show starts, blah, 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 blah. And they stop. And Kyle's like, wait, hold on. You contradicted yourself. And I don't think she did. I think that she, I don't think she did, but I could understand initially Kyle being like, wait, what are you saying? Initially. But when Kyle did say like, wait, you're contradicting yourself, I felt like she was very clear when she re-explained it. But I feel like they're using the energy from the previous subject on Crystal. Yes.
And putting it into
now we have that context.
Yeah. And I'm like, see now because Crystal was so like inconsistent with the whole Sutton thing, we're dragging it into the 14 friends thing, which I don't find fair because I actually feel like she was crystal clear about this 14 friends subject. And Emily, when we are offline, you made a point because I felt I was very team Crystal from the small clip I had seen, but prior to the reunion, that I just felt like Kyle just didn't want Crystal to be right. And she was just latching onto whatever she could latch onto. And you made a really good point offline that the two things you can live in the same world that the 14, like Crystal being the way Crystal is, like, especially with the Sutton stuff. And also that the jealousy of her being on the show could be two in the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like this is what I feel like without really knowing anything, because we still left without really knowing anything from the 14 friends thing. I think Crystal was annoying to that group. She's the friend that no one really liked anyway in that group, right? That they tolerated. There's always that one, especially in a large friend group like that. There's one person that no one really actually likes in the friend group, and it's Crystal, and it's because she does shit like that, like what she did to Sutton.
Says like the words that freak everyone out, and they're like, "Wait, what?" And then doesn't back down.
Exactly. So she's already the annoying friend. Maybe a couple of the friends did have an opportunity to come onto the show, like Kyle pointed out, which is why Crystal was like, yeah, that's the point. And I feel like when she's saying that's the point, it's like those friends. Yeah, very true. That's the point. They had an opportunity to come to the show for whatever reason. They did not. And they may not have liked that Crystal took the opportunity to come on the show. So they were already annoyed from her accepting to be on the show. And then when filming began, it just got worse. And I think it could be them already having a base of not liking her, kind of like a frenemy situation, her getting the show, and then her filming the show that everything came to a boil. I followed that because have you guys not watched the show? Have you guys not been in a frenemy situation? It's very easy for jealousy, for other issues to all be combined to make this huge falling out.
I am literally same exact page. We didn't get to see that though, because Kyle and Crystal just fought about it. And Kyle was like, well, I didn't hear it was about the show. That's not what I heard, but I'm not going to say what I heard. I'm not going to talk about
Everybody's saying that they're not going to say their hurt is making me feel like no one knows anything. Like, Kyle, if you know something, just say it. This is the time.
This is the time. Just fucking say it. Just be like, I heard, say it. Just be messy.
Well, because you can't be like 5 minutes ago, like if you this dark conversation, if you know that she said something, say it, and then you just turn around and do the same thing. I'm not going to accept that either, which is why I told you, Emily, I was like, I'm going to have to accept Crystal's version of it because Kyle is refusing to tell me anything else.
Mm-hmm. Fucking annoying. Just go all the way. Be all the way messy.
Say what she has to say.
Say it.
Like, you seem like you don't want to accept what Crystal's saying. You seem like you know more, so just say it.
It's very annoying. All right, but now we get Diana popping up on Zoom.
She's
looking like a
trash basket.
Yeah.
And you notice, okay, they all said that Diana didn't come because they said because she had COVID. But when we're taping, do you notice Andy doesn't say, Diana's not with us right now because she has COVID. She just said she's not feeling well. Mm-hmm. That's much different than the COVID thing, because I feel like is from her.
I wonder if there's a reason for that though.
I feel like the reason is we all saw the BTS of her getting ready. No one's wearing a mask, so that's weird if you have COVID and no one's taking precautions.
The not wearing a mask thing, I was like, excuse me.
That's what, to me, like, they were like, we can't go on air saying she has COVID. It's gonna be debunked very quickly. We're just gonna say she doesn't feel well, which is a cop out. She's in Hawaii, not feeling well. Fuck off.
So I'll run through her packages very quick. The cease and desist saying that she's like, oh, because she's got to fight people saying she's some sort of madam and your book is a catalog of call girls. And she's like, I can't believe that, blah, blah, blah. You never met Jeffrey Epstein because she claims that the picture they're circulating is from 1997 and she was a refugee. Bitch, that is just a picture that maybe is false, but you knew Jeffrey Epstein. It's been proven. So thank you very much. You've been linked to Justin Timberlake and Guy Ritchie. She's like, oh, femme fatale. They're my friends. Am I allowed to have friends? Okay, thank you very much. The licking of the lips. Oh, it's a nervous tick. And they finally cut over to Garcelle throughout this, and her face is power. It is like just...
She's not having it.
She's disgusted by this woman. And I was living.
And that's why she didn't come. That woman is a scared little girl. She knew she would never be able to handle being in there in person. She would have got demolished in person. Oh yeah. And they ask about the Philly diva drama, which is, but by the way, this account has gone on to, she's posted today about how she's like, this is all bullshit, what Diana's trying to claim, because Philly Diva at the account had only posted like 4 things. She was a very new account, and all the things that she had posted prior were not Bravo related. They were like personal stuff. They were like her face, she's clearly a Black woman. Mm-hmm. And there's Diana is being like, I thought that they were like, in my language, it's like Black, like dark comments, dark posts. And Crystal totally co-signs on this. Crystal claims that when she called Diana was busy being so pissed off about these dark comments, Black comments. And I'm like, she was acting. Yeah, I feel like she figured out pretty quickly she fucked up, and when Crystal called, she was playing dumb because she knew that it wouldn't fly with Crystal, and and I feel like Crystal wants to believe that because she wants to continue her friendship with Diana. Yep. To be honest, so when she allowed herself to be fooled by it, because she doesn't want to not be friends with her, but because Crystal has made such a stance of how she doesn't accept that kind of stuff, she had to call her out, and she took any morsel of Diana actually being ignorant to it to latch onto, because she wanted to continue that friendship, in my opinion.
I agree. Then Andy asks about the Lion Air victims and how she donated to them. And Andy asked Erica, like, how are you feeling? Because that seemed like a troll to me. I was like, ooh. But Erica's like, no, not at all. I mean, if we're going to hammer on about widows and orphans, why doesn't someone do something about it? And I think it's wonderful. Bitch, shut.
She just wants Diana to keep paying for things.
Obviously. Oh my God.
Because if it was anybody else, she would have been pissed.
Of course. Now we get to the bots. And Garcelle has no problem admitting that she thought Diana was behind it.
I loved that. See, the thing is, for all those people who think that Garcelle's boring or she's stirring the pot, if it wasn't for Garcelle and Sutton actually asking the hard questions, we would have nothing, because everybody's protecting each other in that Fox Force 5, right? So we wouldn't really have a show if they weren't being honest, if they were only saying things behind people's back, if they weren't willing to say things in front of the face. Sutton and Garcelle are like usually the only two people who are like, whatever they say behind the people's backs, or like in a conversation with someone not present, they are willing to say to their face. And I find that more compelling.
Agreed. Diana goes, you obviously have a very low opinion of me that you would think I would be behind the bullying of a 14-year-old. And Garcelle, the way she just goes, yeah. Like, oh, girl. And they go to commercial, but then when they come back and they do that same scene again, they edit it different. So I don't know if that was like how that really went down, because in the new version, when they came back from commercial, it went like this. You must have a very low opinion of me, blah, 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 that you'd think I would do that to Jax. And Garcelle says, Diana, you sent me a threat. You sent me a text threatening me. And Diana goes to like interrupt, and Garcelle goes, I'm talking. Can I finish, please? I was like, you shut the fuck up, Diana. And they're all like scared. Everyone was like, ooh, we've never seen, because Garcelle doesn't get like this.
Yeah.
Garcelle reserves it for the most important times.
Yeah.
Which is why Rinna is a clown. Because Rinna's always going nuts. So it's like,
you can't ever take anything serious if everything is dramatic.
Exactly. So
you have to earn those moments.
The silent power of Garcelle. So when she does raise her voice like that,
you're like, ooh, you pay attention, because you're like, she doesn't do this very often.
So I'll read this is the text that Diana sent, or part of it. Believe me when I say, if anything happens to my children, you will be held legally responsible, and no Bravo contract will stop me. I guess by making Cherie take down my birthday post, you wanted to solidify me as racist and actually ruin my life. So the account Face Reality 16, who I'm obsessed with, I love Eliza, she posted this very, very I can't, like, she said it perfectly about this whole thing. She said, I first learned of the bot attack on Jax the morning of Tuesday, August 23rd. It wasn't until the evening of Wednesday, the 24th, that Diana posted anything about it. For reference, Rinna posted within minutes of finding out on Tuesday, followed by the rest of the cast. If Diana was so concerned with her name being included, all she had to do was publicly speak out against the attacks as soon as she saw them. This text proves she knew about it long before she, quote, chose to speak out. She also made sure to turn off comments on her post about it, as well as throw in some self-promotion, sharing an article she wrote over 10 years ago. Right?
Right.
Because if you really wanted to prove that it's not you, wouldn't you come out and why send that text to Garcelle when you could just come out and say, oh my God, stop harassing Jax. We love Jax.
Yeah.
But then Kyle steps in to try to explain it.
I hated that moment.
And Garcelle goes, oh no, you didn't. Because she goes, no. And Kyle was like, oh shit, I'm just, why does Kyle always feel the need to explain things on behalf of Diana? She did it all season, and she's doing it again. And that monologue, that power monologue that Garcelle does, when I'm trying to save my family, I have to come save all of you.
I know. I was like, I had chills.
That hand, I was like, ooh,
everybody was like, oh, we done fucked. up.
Except for fucking Erica.
You don't have to save
you don't need to
me.
save me. Bitch, no one's talking to you.
With her deep ass voice, you don't have to save me.
Was it bitch? No one was actually talking. Like, you don't have kids that matter right now. Your son is like older and like.
Also, I would shut the hell up because like, you're the reason why we're even talking about Jack in the first place. Again, shut the hell up because we're not even mad at you right now.
You don't need to save me. Okay.
We're not on you yet, bitch.
Okay. But then Diana goes, I do understand, sweetheart.
Didn't like that. Didn't like when she called her sweetheart. Another microaggression, guys. If you guys can't see these little words, when you like they don't say that, they don't talk like this to the other women when they're arguing is the thing. And I don't know if people really catch on to that. It's a dismissive word. It's a word to make Garcelle inferior and her superior. It's a way to talk down. No, I'm not your sweetheart, bitch.
So then Diana does this. In my country, when you threat, that's an actual threat, because she she does it like as a joke. She makes that kind of like, I'm so cool in Bosnian. That's the vibe she gives off right in this moment. Okay. And then Garcelle goes, well, your threat was an actual threat to me as well. And Diana goes, was it legally or physically? And Garcelle, a threat is a threat. But then Diana goes full white lady tears into the like, okay, hold on. That first line didn't work about me joking about threats in my country. My family was murdered. We were really murdered. When someone says they take a knife, it is different than a cease and exist, she calls it. I wanted, but you know what? Garcelle handled it perfectly. She just let Diana do that embarrassing performance and went, I'm not talking to her anymore. And then Diana went, well, okay. Well, look, I will help you protect your child. I have means. I have an investigation going. And Garcelle just goes, I have an investigation going as well.
That's why I don't know if I believe this Nicki Minaj thing. I'm sorry to go back to that. Because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like Nicki Minaj, like, she watches Bravo and she just took an opportunity to like, she was like, oh, you're pissed about this. Like, I feel like it was just an opportunity to be like, to poke at Garcelle, but I don't think she was. I just can't believe that she would do that to a black child. Being a black woman.
We're going back to it being Diana.
Like for the
sake of this recap, yeah. I'm back to it being Diana.
Okay.
And then Andy goes, if Diana was here, what would you say? I'm like, isn't she here?
Yeah,
she's right here. Like, what the? And then Garcelle goes, I'd say, why is she so obsessed with me? And then Diana, because you're gorgeous.
And she tried really hard to make this light so everything could like trickle off. And Garcelle's like, I'm not doing that.
Garcelle just stares. And Andy's like, actually, I'm now scared too. So Andy goes, that's not what you meant though.
Yeah, I was like, thank you, Andy, because I was like, we could have like, sometimes Andy could like let you know. And I was like, Andy's doing so far a good job. He's pushing back on some of this stuff.
Agreed. Very much agreed. And Garcelle reminds everyone every day, sometimes twice a day, she's posting about me online. I don't want you harassing me on social media. She looks right at her. Diana, what are you even saying? What are you even saying? What are you acting like she can't? What are you saying? Andy goes, she says you're going after her online.
Thank you, Andy.
Like, oh, you can't hear. I'm going to say it again. She says you're going after her online. And then the way Garcelle is like, leave me alone. I want you to leave me alone. I don't hate you, Diana. I want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Diana is so over. In the words of Carrie in Sex and the City, we need a new word for over.
Yeah. So, like, again, this segment made me realize and know for sure that my prediction of the whole internet's prediction, Diana will not be back. She can't handle it.
Mm-hmm. We need a new
She will not be back.
I mean, what did she bring?
She brought nothing. So like just off the season alone, she wouldn't be back. But again, reunions are telling, and she can't handle it. She wasn't even present. That's how much she couldn't handle it. She will not be back. Bye.
Bye.
Not demoted. She will not be back. Okay. She's done.
Oh, God. Next week. Okay. We got Kyle and Crystal going at it. And Sutton says Rinna's not a friend. And then a lot of buildup for Kathy arriving. I hope next week is meaty. The trailer only gave us a few things and a lot of like build up to Kathy. But I'm like, I don't even know if we're going to get Kathy.
And this is a 3-part.
She's
there. I know. We know.
We're not getting
we know Bravo. That will be at the very end. And it will be left on a cliffhanger. And Kathy will be in the 3rd part. She'll be in the 2nd part at the very last 10 minutes.
Yes.
It will be one of those like dramatic her coming out. And it's going to be after, it's going to be right after something crazy happens between the ladies. And then it's going to they want to keep building it. And so then we'll see Kathy's little slippers coming out of the thing, her walking. And right before we like feel like we're going to get something, maybe we'll even get her sitting down. And next week on the final part of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, that's how it's going to end.
Yep.
For the 2nd part.
Yeah. Just mentally prepare yourselves now. Mentally and emotionally prepare.
Yeah. So don't be too excited. Yeah. The 2nd part is going to be a lot of probably other mediocre things that happen in the season.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get all of what we want. It's just like how the season went, where we had all that middle part that we were like, when is Aspen happening?
Yeah, totally.
That's what the middle part's going to be, guys. So just
we'll probably get
just know that.
Now I can't remember anything that happened other than the beginning and Aspen.
It's going to be the Garcelle's son party thing.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be
Erica drinking.
It's going to be
Erica drinking. Yay.
It's going to be why everyone ganging up on Sutton every week.
Yay.
It's going to be that. And
Yay.
I was actually thinking about how mad we were about the seating arrangement. It's the thing is, because like Rinna's really not participating and she has first chair. It's just because the Aspen thing was such a huge thing the last 4 episodes that like for all of the dramatics that we're going to have, we have to have Rinna closer.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
As much as I hate that, because of like all of the stupid buildup of all of what happened, we have to have Rinna closer, even though she's not going to even participate really until the end.
Yep.
It's annoying, but that is the only reason why she got first chair.
It's really annoying she got first chair. Deleted scenes though from last week that I want to talk about. We'll go to the big one I'm going to say for the end. So
okay.
There was one that was of Erica. She was talking to Dorit. They were sitting at the dinner and she's talking about how like, not great it was with Tom when they were together. And she goes into this, like, it's such a bit that she does. She's like, Tom, he was very manipulative. He wouldn't call me for days. And I think he wanted me to leave him, but I just wouldn't. And then she's like, eventually, I had to. He was going to take us all down with him. Whoosh. Just this like whole bit. Like, I think you're forgetting again, like, what your story has been. So she gives us that bit. That's in a deleted scene.
I was like, didn't you not know before you divorced him that all this was going to happen? I thought that was her thing. Like she was divorcing him because of the cheating, not because of the lawsuits. So what does that mean? I
need to say something. If let's say Tom wasn't a criminal and it just turned out that Tom actually was just like a really like bad guy. She's been lying to us for all these years then. And it's annoying because we've watched and had to put up with you pretending like you're in this happy marriage for all these years when that's not the deal with housewives on reality TV. You're supposed to give us honesty. So just that alone is like, I call foul. Okay. Yeah. Flagrant foul, actually.
I feel like honestly, Erica's been playing friend of with a diamond for years. Does that make sense?
Oh.
We've never really gotten
say that again.
I feel like Erica's been playing friend of, but with a diamond for years. Because we never ever really got any real meat to her. She was always giving us this persona. And now we find out like whatever persona she's been giving about herself, about her marriage, has all been a lie. That it's not that she just discovered it, which would be much different. She's always known this. That's what she's saying. So we were cheated for what? How long has she been on the show? 5+ years of all of this meat. Yeah. So we never got to get all of the things. So why she should have always been a friend of.
Yeah. So
you don't want us to know about your life. She should never have had a diamond.
Yes. So instead we had to pretend like it was totally normal that you were with Tom, this old geriatric looking dude. Like, don't you get it? You get it, right? And then he'd be mean to her. And we're like, okay, so we're supposed to pretend? I don't like this. And now we have to believe that you're unhappy. It's not fair. Okay, so there's that. The other deleted scene that's very important to talk about is Erica outing a conversation that she had with Kyle.
Yeah, that was jaw-dropping.
Oops, Kyle.
Kyle was not happy about that.
So if you missed it, when they were sitting around, like it's the same scene where Garcelle, it's after the dinner at Kyle at the final event. And it's when Garcelle was saying that she's like, I think you guys are trying to distract from Erica with all this. It's that same scene.
Mm-hmm.
Erica says that she's like, even Kyle said, I'm glad everyone's finally seeing this side of my sister. And Kyle cuts her off and goes, oh, okay, that was private. That was a private conversation. And Erica in real time is like, oh, wait, what? So in my head, I'm like, this is exactly what I said last week. Someone had posted something about like, I don't know, Rinna and Erica and like how Kyle, I don't remember, but my response was Kyle created these monsters, Rinna and Erica, and only she can take them down because this is proof that they think this is what Kyle wants them to do. But now they've gone too far. Now they're out of control.
Didn't I fucking say that when we were like, when Rinna came to Kyle's house that she's so, oh yeah, just by the way, Kathy didn't tell Kathy Rinna was coming over. Rinna's going to be on her way if you want to actually talk to her. Like you didn't tell Kathy that ahead of time because you knew if you did, she might not show up. And how I told you Kyle was reveling when Rinna was doing that to Kathy because she did like that Kathy was getting called out. It was just the fact that she, again, it's just a perfect analogy what you said. She created these monsters. She is Frankenstein and she created the monsters, right? And unfortunately, her monster got out of control and went too far. And it was to a point where then her monster was like, I don't need my master. And I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And she didn't know how to reel it back. And now she doesn't want to be exposed for participating in that.
Yep. So that was very telling and it changes the tone of it. I mean, anyone who knew, like anyone who like, we all kind of knew that, but now it's just like uber confirmed.
Yeah.
Sorry, my cat has just, sorry. Okay. Yeah. So there I go. This recap flew by.
It did. I feel like it always flies by when it's a really good episode. Like when it's like a mediocre one, it just feels like you're like, what else happened?
Like, yeah, right. And then I'm like, oh my God,
I'm drained.
Then this next scene. Who's
Kyle actually finally posted the naked man one on her account from the photo shoot.
That photo shoot that was just so out of left field.
Yeah, I'm about to look up to see if she's responded to anybody.
I couldn't even find their comments on her posts anymore.
Kyle still has not liked Rinna's.
Oh, you can see it?
Yeah. Because I'm not blocked.
No, I can go on my burner.
Oh, yeah. No, I
see it even on my burner.
Yeah, I haven't seen. No, she hasn't liked Lisa's comment. No.
What's Lisa Rinna doing on her stories? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Nothing interesting.
Yeah, she didn't comment.
Ew, Lisa's got some stupid thing in her. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Hi.
But to be fair, Kyle didn't also like her sister's comment either.
Okay, so Rinna's got something in her. Is BravoCon today? Is it starting today?
It started yesterday, I think.
Oh, sorry, yesterday?
Yeah, I've been seeing or they're at the convention since yesterday because I've already seen like TikToks of all of the like I saw what's her name from OC throw the plate, like she was doing a bit she was at BravoCon.
But they're not like, it's not like the events haven't started
yet.
But
they're there, like they're there.
So Lisa Rinna has in her stories right now, hi, you know what I love about being with a live audience? You can't edit me to fit your narrative. You get Lisa fucking Rinna all day and night. See you at BravoCon.
Okay. I kind of want this to be what happens when she does go to her events. Hey, maybe this will happen if I say it and it makes it in time. I want all of the Bravo people who do not like Lisa Rinna, who is going to BravoCon, to just boo her when they introduce her.
Oh my God, I hope to God she gets
like
booed.
They did Kim at that one football game.
Like Kim
Kardashian, when she took her son. They did. I forget what football game it was. That this was all over the media. This was last week. She went to some football game. I can't remember what football game. And they put her on the big screen and all the football fans started booing her. That's what I want to happen when Lisa Rinna goes on the stage and they're like, and Lisa Rinna, and everyone's like, boo. You can't edit that out, Lisa.
That will be so good.
So if anybody wants to do that, boo.
Oh, boo, tomato.
Anybody that's going to BravoCon that listens to this, say boo.
Boo her. Boo. All right. Well, great part one. Fantastic. Garcelle is a queen. On that note, guys, please don't forget to like this video if you're watching on YouTube. And don't forget to go to ZocDoc.com/she speaks. Scroll down, download the app. Use ZocDoc for all your doctor needs, guys. It helps if you can find reviews, find doctors in your network. It's very valuable. And follow Piaget at PiagetV on TikTok and Instagram. And if you're listening on the pod, don't forget to rate, review. Love you, mean it. Bye, queens.
Bye.